A warm welcome back to my channel, and here we are at the start of wave 2 of the Telford 10k. In wave 1 there was the winner there in a new course record of 28 minutes and 1 second. So many congratulations to Jack Rowe of winning that particular race. I mean, incredible time. Clearly at the age of 63 I'll be going nowhere near that time. My goal was aim sub 40. Literally weeks ago I ran a 40 minutes and 40 seconds at the Kingfisher 10k, but I've been training for a 10-mile race, so this is one of my tune-up to see how we're going. So we're all getting ready for the start here and the off, because this is a super fast race. It may be wave 2, but here we are now getting ready. The start has been announced and everybody's moving forward. It's a pretty tight, compact path here at Telford. And as you can see, once we start getting the pace, we're now off. This is the start and we're all in full flow here. Everybody's moving at quite a fast clip. We're running around 340, 350 pace here. It is downhill from the start, a gentle downhill, and it gradually picks up again. Mildly undulating, but you could say overall this is a pretty flat-ish course. There are some undulations, but already there on the left there's been a fall. I hope he's okay. Yep, there you go, to see on the guy on the right stepping over. So sadly someone had already fallen at the start here. It is pretty wet on the surface. As we go through you'll see some sections that are quite muddy under the foot and slippery, so it's quite important, especially coming here on this steep downhill. You can see people here slowing down. It tightens up. The path does narrow in sections, so it's important that we don't go a bit crazy gung-ho down here. So very much getting into the pace, settling in and holding my own really. Now there are people who now and again will slip past me, go past, but you can see here people slipping on paths. There's one lady just went round that lady there, but for me I'm just settling in, not trying anything crazy, and just keep it ticking over. But it is quite a steep section here going downhill as we come to another almost like Monaco Grand Prix style turns here with a sharp left. Again, watching the leaves, not treading on anything where I could come a cropper, as the gentleman previously, I hope he was okay. He looked okay walking away, but clearly a bad enough fall to stop him racing any further, which is quite sad. There were a few incidents on the course, but it's fast and we're coming down here. As you can see, the guy in front of me, his arms are flapping out, so he's slowing himself down, headphones on, listening to Dire Straits probably, rather than focusing on the race here. But hey, each to their own. Yes, we're now coming to a mild uphill section here. Again, you'll see people now and again glancing at their watches. There you go, he's looking at his watch just there. I don't know why. I personally just run to feel, so I'm running in my, what I would call, very uncomfortably comfortable. But you can see here uphill and the field is stretching out. Now for me, I'm not interested in catching up with this group and passing them. I'm just getting into my pace, breathing, steady pace, and holding this pace. It's essential for me not to go out too hard early on, because we haven't even done 1 kilometre yet. And you can see here people passing me on the right. He's properly going for it there, giving it some, and you'll see him cutting through there on that group. He's determined to get past everyone, so you sort of wonder why were you starting so far behind everyone. But anyway, you'll see other people cutting through, and still a lot of jostling and hustling and bustling as we go through here. Man with his sleeves and hat on. It was quite a warm temperature for me, so even I wasn't without a hat today or sleeves. This time last year it was a snowstorm and it was 0 degrees, but the organisers at Telford ensured that the race went ahead by gritting the whole course. That's right, gritting the whole course. And you can see here there's still people passing me here. Shrewsbury Athletics Club, very great running there, young man, really good running. And we have a Masters runner here, the lady, I don't know what name she has, but absolutely great. Here we are, first kilometre, come through in a time of 3:48. CLC Striders man stomping through there. He's absolutely on a mission. So 3:48 on the first kilometre. I didn't feel like I was strained or pushing too hard. So for me, that was a good pace, but taking advantage of the downhill section of the start. So 3:48, how will we be progressing through the next set of kilometres? The splits that I'll be showing throughout this race is based on my Garmin GPS. It's not been measured accurately. So for those of you who've measured this course and know exactly where the kilometre splits are, I'm sure I may be out by a few metres or whatever, maybe even out by quite a lot, but I don't measure my GPS. So we're coming in, there's still guys passing me, going through, and obviously I'm passing people as well. So the guy here with his nice green sleeves and fully Adidased up with his hat on as well, passing him there comfortably. And you'll find that some people may have started a bit too far up front and maybe have already overcooked it on that first kilometre. But for me, again, holding pace, not doing anything too extravagant. And there's a guy coming on my right here, passing me also. And we're coming to first sort of muddy section, puddles, very slippery here. And then we come to an extremely sharp descent here, where I have to really watch myself. So it's very muddy on the path here. So you can see some people already putting their arms out to slow down. Very sharp left chicane. Man passing me on the right, another one passing me on the right. They're all going for it. And as you can see on the left of the path, it is quite muddy. So it's important for people to keep on the path. But here we now start a stretch of a very long out and back on this particular path. So in a short while, we're going to see the faster runners coming up towards us on our right. So the runners here who are passing me on my right, they're going to be for a bit of a shock, because there'll be some fast runners coming right up head on. So for me, again, holding a particular pace, focusing on my breathing, pacing, past the first 1 mile marker, and all I'm focusing on is pace, breathing, and everything feeling good. I'm not there to race anyone, I'm running my own race, basically a time trial. So whilst I'm going to the right of the path, we're still in a comfortable section where we can sort of hold our pace, and there are some people being passed. I don't know what was going on there. Oh yeah, puddles and stuff, so people coming out to the right, blocking others, but you can see. And again, glancing at the watch. Yeah, so as I say, my views is running on pace, glancing at the watch, checking pace. Again, it's on GPS. Oh, and here's a man passing me on my right. I don't know whether he got the, did he get the memo? Oh yes, he's got the headphones on and calf sleeves. He's properly going for it there, yeah, and passing a few of us there on the right there. So holding me pace, pushing along, but this guy's really giving it some. And another one's passing him on that right there. So there's a few people pushing on here because it's mildly downhill on this section. Again, a glance at the watch with the man in the grey shorts. We'll see him again later on. He'll be pulling away from me, but we will be seeing him later on in this race. And a few more guys passing through. Again, the guy with the bright green shoes, he keeps glancing at his watch. I don't know why. Maybe his watch is shouting at him. And we passed second kilometre at 3:51. So mildly slower than the first kilometre, which was at 3:48. Now at 3:51, so we're still going mildly downhill on this section. Oh, and I'm now being passed by another guy who didn't get the memo. Headphones on, and he's got his bib on his shorts. Yep, that's right. I think he probably, I know a lot of ultra runners put their bibs on their shorts. Do you put your bib on your shorts when you do a 10k road race? Let me know in the comments below. Again, you can put your bib wherever you want, yes. Although I think it's supposed to be on your front for recording purposes. And that, yes, obviously look at, and there he is again, the man with those bright green shoes glancing at his watch again. This continual glancing at watch, yeah, you're slowing yourself down, kiddo. You know, you need to be just focusing on your running. So there's a lot of people still passing me here, and I'm coming up to the man with his bright green shoes. And what's that ponytail that they called it? The old man bob. Yes, and Hereford Courier man running through there. Superb overtaking. So It looks like there's another Hereford Courier runner there, so the two of them are probably competing against each other. We do see a lot of club runners turning up here, all racing each other into club. So I'm now still holding my pace. I'm just running to my pace, breathing comfortably, holding my own, going through the middle of these two here. And we still haven't had any of the quick runners, but we will soon be seeing the lead bikes to warn us that people will be coming through. But you can see here two sides of the path. There's one on the left which is a bit uneven ground, which I'm running on at the moment, and then the one on the right which is a bit more even, not as muddy. So it's tempting for me to get on the right there, but I know people want to pass me, as this lady's done here from Erie Running excuse me, Erie Running Club, and she's doing a great job there. Erie, for those of you who don't know, is Welsh for Snowdon. So here we have the lead bikes coming through, and we'll see the fast runners coming through at any moment now, which is getting a bit scary. So there's people there still overtaking, and if they stayed in that position, they'll get walloped for 6 by the quick runners coming through. Here we'll see now, here they come. There's the lead bike, tinging his bell, and there go the first of the front group running through. So I now know that I need to keep to the left as these quick runners are coming through at quite a pace. Now, nothing to be too alarmed. With the GoPro here, they look like they're about to hit us as they're coming through. But there is at least half a foot space between us, so nothing to worry about there. Anyway, for me, focus on staying on the left, holding my pace. Now here, there is literally no chance of overtaking those two there, so I can overtake one guy at a time if I feel like it, but for me, I'm just holding my pace. The guy in front is still going at a good clip. Oh, another guy has given up on the race there, walking along. So there was quite a few of casualties along the course. You'll see more as we progress, and the quicker runners are coming through as we now approach the first turnaround point after we've gone under this tunnel. I'm going at a pace, again, for me, it's just on feel. I'm feeling good. It's tough, a bit shaky here without the low light, and we're coming to the turnaround point. I'm feeling good, but for me, I'm not there to race. So we come to the turnaround point. Very sharp right here, full U-turn. The marshal here is shouting at everyone, saying to be easy on the turn because it is quite muddy. 3 kilometers, 3:57. Again, slowing down from the pace of the first two. Second kilometre was 3:51, first kilometre was 3:48. So am I slowing down because I'm getting stuck behind people? Who knows? All I know, I'm still running within my speed. So finding overtaking opportunities, me passing a lady while she's on my right, I'm overtaking her on the left. Am I undertaking? But anyway, this isn't a road, is it? Yes, a guy passing me on the right there in red, doing very well indeed. So we're now on the mildly uphill section, and you can see here the tail enders of the wave 2 coming through. There are a few more towards the back here who are coming through, but as the signs they say are saying, keep to the left. So whilst that sign said 5 miles, that's not 5 miles, that was me on the second loop. So we're still on the first loop here of the wave. So it'll be interesting to see what's my 5 kilometre split when we come through. And again, another one of the tail runners there on wave 2. A couple of weeks ago, I had ran a fast park run for me in a time of 19 minutes and 38 seconds, which was my fastest 5k of the year. Now, based on that, I think there's some theory that if we run twice that time plus a minute, that will be my 10k time. So based on that prediction, I should be running about 40 minutes and 16 seconds. So over 40 minutes and 16 seconds, which sort of tallies close to what I ran at the Kingfisher 10k in around 40 minutes and 38 seconds. So, you know, thereabouts. The race predictor on my Garmin did have me at over 41 minutes. But I never trust the Garmin. Don't let it hold you back, to be honest. So we can see on the left there, grey shorts man with the calf sleeves. headphones on. He is now beginning to tire, and yeah, but I think these guys are all holding a good clip, so we're all pushing on. I think a lot of these are racing each other and trying to keep up with each other. For me, I'm still running at my pace, what I feel comfortable to be running at. So we should probably explain one is people passing me. So they want to race me, they want to pass me, which is great. And we're passing here the old train platform on the left. So this used to be an old railroad here, and from what I check in my old history, but yeah, that's the old rail platform. And check that guy's just passed me there. We'll see more of him later in the race. So he's passed me, looking comfortable and just cruising along. So we've now done 4 kilometers and we're coming up to the 5th kilometer. So slowly but surely, as I say, this is a mild uphill section. So we've benefited from the downhill section and we're now going mildly uphill. It's not too much of a gradient, not a hill to be noted, but it is worth noting. I think if you're on a treadmill, was it 3-4% grading? I can't remember on how that works. So this lady in front here is doing an admirable job running at a tidy pace here. And now, 4th kilometre, 3:58. Holding pace, only 1 second. 1 second slower than the 3rd kilometre. So 3:58, so mildly slower. But as I say, we are coming to a mildly uphill section here. It will be interesting to see what the 5 kilometre split will be. There is a clock on the 5 kilometre split, but that's the gun time, not my chip time. So I did start a short way behind the front, so that will still be a great indicator in terms of how I'm doing. So for me, dialing in my pace and just literally running on feel, keeping my breathing controlled and pacing. Nothing too scary. I don't want to race these guys down and chase them down because we haven't even got halfway round yet. So for me, it's just holding my pace and feeling comfortable. If at any point my breathing was getting a bit too fast or laboured or hurting, I would need to rein that back. But that's just how I run. How do you run? Do you run on feel, or do you run on glancing at your watch and making sure that your GPS time is exactly what you want? So this gentleman in front here, we'll see a fair bit of him. I think we do a bit of nipping and tucking, so to speak. He's going at a really tidy pace here, and yeah, I didn't know who the guy was, but he was certainly holding a good pace. But here we all tend to vary our different paces. Some of us are stronger on the uphills, some stronger on the downhills, but he's glancing here behind me, he's knowing that I'm on his tail. Now, as I said, I'm not racing these people, I'm running my own race in a particular time, but some people do race me, you know, which is totally fine. You know, they use me as a pacer or want to get ahead of me. That's totally fine. At the end of the day, it's a race. But here we're coming up to a chap, I don't know what club that is, but he's clearly toasted. Yeah, he's been absolutely roasted. Reading club there, he's been roasted so far. So a lot of guys now coming up to the first 5k have literally roasted themselves, gone out a bit too quick and now slowing down, and they've still got, you know, a good 5.5k to go into the finish, round the loop again. So you can see the group in the distance there. Now for me, I'm not aiming to chase them down. As I said, this is a 10k race, not a 5k. If this was coming to the last 5k, I would be probably going gung-ho trying to chase them down. But for the 10k, it's important for me to hold my steady pace, aerobic pace, because at the end of the day, we are running aerobic, maybe at maximum aerobic capacity, but with 10k races, over 95% of what we use is all about our aerobic fitness. So the training that I've been doing for the 10-mile race coming up in a couple of weeks' time has all been based around getting my aerobic base up.
Thank you.
We're coming up to some markers on the side here that will indicate how far. So we're coming up to 3 miles. So we'll soon be coming up to the 5k marker, split. So here's 6 miles. So on the second loop, this will be 6 miles. So we're coming up to completion of the first loop of this wonderful 10k. Telford 10k, as I said, is the fastest one in Great Britain. Now I'm just running and cruising along. So in the distance you'll see a clock on the left, and this is literally the gun time of me passing. Let's see what the kilometre split is here. So you can see on the left, gun time is clicking 1942, 43, 44, 45. 1945 gun time split, 5k 3:59, so keeping it under 4 minutes. So the sub 40 is absolutely on, And now I would have seen that clock, whilst I don't look at my Garmin, I would have seen that clock and I would have seen 1944, 1950. I would have seen, I think my brain clocked 1940. So I thought, okay, could I be on for on the right there? Another person's dropped out. Yeah, it's a tough race, this. You know, if things aren't feeling right, then the sensible thing if you're racing is to pull out. Now we're coming through on the first loop. This will be the finish line. Now I noticed some of the people shouting out and cheering my name. I did see, if you look on the right, you'll see Andy and Brett. So it's on Andy. There you go. Hello Andy. Hello Brett. They were there filming for the content. Now, without me realising, I'm catching up with a lot of these people and beginning to pass them. You can see some people walking. They've had it. They've had enough. Yeah, they're not going to carry on with the second 5k of this race. There was another YouTuber on the left. I've forgotten that gentleman's name. But here you can see this guy relaxing his arms. We're coming up to a downhill section and then back on the uphill section. Another guy's giving up the ghost there on the left. Yeah, you know, if your legs have had enough, they've had enough. So I'm passing this guy on the right because we're coming to a slight downhill section. But as we come onto this downhill, you can see it turns towards the right, and then we're now coming up. We're now on an uphill section, and it does get mildly steep. Now, whilst I didn't really feel that, so there's a lot of guys who'd finished the first wave and they're coming out for a cool down run. What are you doing getting on the race course? But anyway, no, they're all being very sensible. So when I was approaching, they all did move to the left. So there's a guy here passing me on the right. He's going gung-ho for this. And yeah, he must be a serious runner. He's got his heart rate strap on his sleeve there. If you look on his right arm, he's got his pace heart rate on there. So the gentleman I passed going uphill is now beginning to pass me on the right. But we're going nip and tuck here. So this is a point now where I'm really feeling it. Having gone up that hill, as I said, these guys are all doing a cool down run from the first wave, all being very sensible and moving over to the left. Right now, I am absolutely feeling it. Having ran up that hill, another serious runner passing me on the left there. These two guys with their heart rate straps on their sleeves. Oh, I don't know why he's looking left and right. I don't know what's happened there. I don't know whether he had a bit of an altercation with someone. I think that lady there is running with him, or maybe filming him for content. I don't know what was going on. But anyway, he was glancing left and right for some reason. But this guy here with the blue top is doing an amazing run. Absolutely amazing. He's clearly going for his negative splitting on this. So we're now coming on the downhill section. And it's pretty much downhill from here all the way to the turnaround point. And yeah, this is where we really test our mettle on the 10k. Because we're coming up to the 6k split, 7k, 8k, 9k. But this middle section now, turn around. So psychologically, this is the tough section. But thankfully, when I said it was downhill all the way, we are coming up to a mild uphill section again. But I'm trying to hold on. But there's guys here who've, as we see on the left there, who've had enough of this particular race as well. 6k kilometre split, 3:58. Super happy with that. Yeah, 3:58. So slightly quicker than the 5 kilometre split. But then we did have some downhill sections, more downhill than uphill. So holding a steady pace, but whilst I'm holding the same pace, my heart rate is going 10 to the dozen here. I can really feel it. So we've gone over another little lump and we're coming to the downhill section. The field now, as you can see, is pretty much spaced out. There's not much overtaking going on here. So everyone's running at their pace. Although, as I suddenly speak, there's a guy there coming on my right shoulder. So there will be a number of people passing me, and for me also passing some as we go along here. So we've completed 6 kilometre. So the sub 40 is absolutely still on. I've got to keep under the 4 minutes. So by my calculations, I'm about 15 seconds, 20 seconds under the 40 minute 10k. But I'm not looking at my watch, I'm just doing the calculations here. So we come down a sharp downhill there, left turn again on the Monaco left chicane, and yep, glancing at their watches. Yes, I'm just running feel. I don't know what time I'm running. I did obviously saw the clock at the 5k split, which gave me an indication. I sometimes try to look away from that. I don't want to see the clock, but it's there, and you know, it's telling me my split. So I know that I'm not going to be anywhere near my personal best of 37.48. I think it was 37.38 2 years ago. But then I was specifically training for 10k races at England Masters qualifications. 2 years ago, this was an England Masters qualification. So again, that gentleman glancing at his watch. I think for some, as they begin to tire, looking at the watch, I think it's almost like the last thing to be looking at, because it'll tell you that you're going slower than you thought you probably were. But for me, as I'm coming up to the Leamington Athletes Leamington Athletes Arcade, so I'm passing these two guys on the left there. I'm just holding my pace, and whilst I said it was downhill, you can see that this is mildly uphill, so it is mildly undulating. I've got to stress it is mildly undulating. No hills of note really on this course, because they're pretty short and sharp enough to get through. So whilst we're doing this long out and back section, we still haven't had the fast runners coming through just yet. So for me, you know, it is a long stretch going down this path, and it's great to be just cruising, knowing there's no traffic, no nothing, and just cruising down here, holding my pace. So I'm holding, thinking, right, everything's in control here, and I'm just cruising along, minding my own business really. I'm just keeping this going. But the guys up front, whilst I'm sort of mindful of my own running, I can see up front some of them are beginning to tire, some of them I try and maybe hold on to, but again, monitoring and being mindful of my breathing and pacing. So absolutely focusing on my run and my pace, and rather than racing people over X kilometre splits. So we have completed 6 kilometres, and we're coming up to the 7 kilometre. There was the lead bikes coming through, and yeah, so the lead bikes come through. So this gentleman passing me here quite comfortably. I think he'd been following me from the 5k point, and we're 7 kilometre split, 4 minutes. Oh no, we're slowing down. We're absolutely slowing down here. Oh, excuse me. I should be drinking some tea rather than giving continual commentary. So I had slowed down only mildly, but we're now passing the old railroad track here on the right, and the fast runners are coming through here on my right. And as you can see, the fast runners here are pretty much spread out now. So those were the front groups, but we're now beginning to see the main group. But again, they are spreading out as well, as we've all 10Ks the last section, but those guys will now be letting full gas out to run as quick as they can. So you can see the guy in front here, absolute perfect running form here, lifting his legs up and kicking out. You can tell this guy's an absolutely experienced runner there. About to pass the lady there on the left, pink socks. And whilst that chap, it looks dangerous for him to be overtaking. As I said, there's the GoPro, as I pass the lady on the left there, it does look dangerously close on the GoPro, but I can assure you, as I said, there's at least half a foot between us, or a bit more. And so for me, I'm just going on here. I know the last few kilometres, I need to stay behind this guy. There's no point trying to chase him down and overtake. because I'll probably get hit by the runners coming in the opposite direction. So trying to keep it safe, but also keeping a good clip. So whilst this path on the left is relatively uneven on sections, avoiding the wet leaves and mud, but as we go along here, because it had been raining, and as I said, it was quite a mild temperature, I think it was about 12 degrees Celsius on the race day. This is almost the point where, not the point of no return, but as I say, that those guys who were going through fast, you can see that they're all tiring compared to the first lap. I'm tiring also. So for me, as I'm coming up to under this bridge and the turnaround point, I know that I need to keep pace. So the guy is pulling away from me now. He's pulling away, feeling very comfortable. I say absolute perfect running form there for him. As we go down, there's some uneven sections here on this path for me on the left, and we're coming down there. It's the signs there telling us to stay on the left. Tipton Harriers runner going through. So in the distance you can see the last bridge that we go under before the turnaround point. But these guys here on the right are really giving it some. Oh, guy coming close to me there as he was overtaken. There you'll see the guy who had the red shirt overtaking me on the first lap. He's clearly having an amazing run, and I'm clearly slowing down here. I'm really feeling it. Coming to the last tunnel before we do the turnaround point, and I'm not feeling too good now, and there's still 3 kilometers left to go. I'm not feeling good at all, and I'm absolutely... Oof, you can see a guy there on the right, he's walking. So we come to the last turnaround point. Yes, we turn around. I'm not feeling good at all here. And whilst I'm passing and going through here, we come to the tunnel again. I know this, I've got to push now. I've got to push, but I'm not feeling good. The heart rate's gone up, and I can feel the heart really struggling, and I'm thinking, I don't know if I can keep up this pace for much longer, and I'm struggling. So we're now on the mild uphill section, and we haven't even come up to the 8th kilometre yet, and I'm really feeling it. It's a real struggle for me now. Going uphill, we can see the tail runners here on wave 2 coming through. They're all doing a great job running, but for me, the guy up front there, he's pulling away. And here we are passing a walker. Oh, 8 kilometre splits, 4 minutes 16. Oh my God, I've slowed down. So whilst this guy in front was walking, he's now started running again. Fast run. Oh, he's going well ahead of me, but 4:16 on that kilometre split. Not good at all. Sub 40 is looking dangerous. That man there. Oh, there's something up with him. He's trying fast and slow. You might see him again later on. But I'm really struggling here. 4:16 with another 2 kilometres to go. The sub 40 is looking dangerous. I could be out of it now. But as I said, I'm not looking at my watch. For me, if I was looking at my watch, it would probably demotivate me, and I would probably gone even slower now than I was slowing down before. But I'm just going on feel. That man up front there, he's really giving it some and pulling well away from me. Psychologically now, I'm feeling not good. My heart is pumping, my feet are aching, and I've still got over 2 kilometres to go. And I could absolutely blow it in these last 2 kilometres. I really need to pick up the pace now, but I know that this is the last uphill section to the finish. I know that I've just got to give one last push. This may not be my A race, but I really am desperate to get under 40. This year I've only gone under 40 minutes twice, and they were both in February. The Dewsbury 10k and the Bourton on the Water 10k. Yeah, those are the only two. Since then I've not been able to get back under 40 minutes despite having run many 10k races and given it my all. I just have not been able to get under 40 minutes. In fact, one of the races was over 42 minutes where I absolutely fell apart in the second half. Just like what's happening now, I was falling apart, things not good, but I'm gritting my teeth. And as we come to the railroad section, the old railroad section, As you can see here, there's a lot of people struggling on this second wave, way behind me. Whilst I'm still aiming for my sub 40, I need to really push it now. Yes, I gotta push it. But in the distance there, can we see that familiar face? Yes, it's Headphone Man, grey shorts and compression sock man. Yes, he's managed to stay ahead of me all this way. But the man with the green top is passing him, so he must be slowing down. I'm trying to push on and keep my pace here. But for me, this is now, I'm now being overtaken. Yes, the familiar face, whilst I passed him at kilometre 5, I think he's now passing me. So that's a surefire sign that I'm slowing down a lot. Or is he getting quicker? Is this man getting quicker? Who knows? All that I know is I'm giving it as much as I can. Excuse me whilst I cough and doing this full running commentary. Wow, have you ever watched a YouTube where I'm doing full commentary for a whole 40 minutes, non-stop talking? It's absolutely amazing. 9 kilometre split, 4 minutes. I've managed to pick it up. 4 minutes. The sub 40 is still on. I'm holding it. I'm just under 40 there, holding it. Now, I have no idea what time, what split I'm doing. I'm just running to feel. That's how I do it. That's just me. As I said, leave it in the comments. How do you run? Do you keep glancing at your watch? So we're coming up to grey shorts man, compression socks, headphone man, and he's glancing at his watch again. He's continually glancing at his watch. Heads down. He's toast. He's absolutely roasted. Oh, he's picked up. He's looked at his watch again, and he's given a surge. Cheeky young man giving it that surge there. But often with races, the last thing you want to be doing is surging. That's going to burn your matches, and that's going to mean that, you know, if I'm running my steady pace. He's glanced at his watch again. He's really struggling now with 2 kilometres to go, or under 2 kilometres. He's really struggling. I'm now got the chomp between my teeth. Is that the right phrase? I don't know. I've got something, the bit between my teeth. I want to keep going. You would have seen one of the tail runners there going through on wave 2. So they're quite a way behind, but at least they're going for the finish, which is great to see. But yes, I can see a whole group in front of me, but everybody seems to be running at the same pace-ish. But I'm passing this guy, grey shorts man, compression socks, headphones. You are toast, mate. I've got you now. That's it. I've passed him. That's the last you see of him. And I've got another guy in front there. He's tiring as well. Those two have passed him. So it's time for me to catch up and pass this guy. So there's a few tail runners out on our right there, which was that sharp descent and the left Monaco turn. I'm now coming up. I now know I've got 1 kilometre to go. 1 kilometre to go to hold this pace, grit my teeth, jump between my teeth, all those quotes that you may be thinking of. But despite this lad in front of me, he's giving it some with those sky blue compression socks and giving it some, checking the hairs in place. Yes, we know the finishing photos have got to look good, haven't they, kiddo? Yes, but I'm giving it, but I'm now being overtaken. What's this guy doing? This isn't in the script. You're not supposed to overtake me with a 1 kilometre to go. He's running there, and I can see he's got, looking at the footprint there from his shoes, it looks like he's got some nice Saucony there. But for me, I'm in my Adidas Takumi Sen 10. I like my low profile shoes and feeling the ground, but that's just me. What shoes do you run a 10k in? Let me know in the comments below. So we're coming up to the markers. 3 mile, 6 mile marker coming up. So I'll know after the 6 mile marker. Yes, you're glancing at your watch. You know you're coming to the finish. Oh, I'm overtaken by another serious runner. 6 miles. Yes, you may glance. He's looking at his watch as well. They're all looking at their watch. He's a proper serious runner. He's got his heart rate monitor on his left arm there. You know they're serious, aren't they? I'm glancing at my watch. Oh no, I've caught the glancing at watch disease. Yes, so you can see my arms are flapping. I'm giving it some. Yes, we've got to go. That 0.2 of a mile, it just seems to go on forever. Oh, 38.59. 39 minutes. I know I've got a minute to go to get under 40 minutes. But you never know. It's not over till the fat lady sings. I'm giving it some welly. You can see the crowds building up. People are cheering us on. We're coming to that last 300 metres, 200 metres. I can see the time intent there. Yes, hello photographer. Did you get a nice photo of me? People are cheering us on. We're coming to that last sprint. I am now glancing at the watch again. Yes, I've got that disease of glancing at the watch. I'm passing the timing chip down the right. The crowd's on the right. I can see the finish line. Going to the finish line. Oh, it's neck and neck. 39.42 on the clock. 39 trip time. Oh, 10 kilometres, 3:53. We got sub 40. What was the chip time? What was the chip time? Let's have a look. Let's have a look. 39.29. Get in there. 39.29. Yes, a gun time of 39.45. Net time 39.29. Absolutely amazing. I'm over the moon with a sub 40. This is boding well for my 10-mile race. And the icing on the cake for it all, for me, I didn't know where I come in the age category. But the icing on the cake for the age category, there it is. First place, just ahead of Ian Price. Absolutely brilliant. Ian running and Rob Sheen in third. Ian Price, amazing runner. He follows this YouTube channel. Congratulations, Ian, on a great run as well. And I look forward to seeing you all very soon. Yes, it's been an amazing race. I absolutely loved it. Hard work. But yeah, nothing comes easy. We just got to keep going. And I look forward to seeing you all very soon. Be sure to thumbs up, subscribe and hit that alarm bell.
Thank you very much. Thank you.